3, 2, 1. Episode 4, the Victory with Pat. How we doing?
5-0, baby.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me. I think we've said it every single podcast since we started. Also, audience, I think you've already captured or you've noticed a difference before, because since we have like millions of viewers, everyone from the last episode has come back to tune into this episode, and they're like, what happened with Max's mic? Like,
it's so much cleaner now. Sounds so good. Sounds like Pat's mic. Maybe because we have the same microphone now. Let's go.
I know, that's
Cheers.
Clutch. So, hey, cheers. Except mine's black, yours is white. So that's the only difference. Any hoozles. 5-0 going into the bye week. How good does it feel when your favorite team plays like dog and they still get the victory?
Yeah, it does feel good. I don't know. The Vikings have let me down so much in my life that I'm kind of just waiting for the floor to fall out from underneath us. Like, when is this going to happen? In the last, game and a half, the Packers game and the Jets game, we played bad enough to lose both those games, and it felt like kind of the sky was falling.
This one a lot more than the Packers one.
Yeah, just our offense looked not good. As soon as Aaron Jones was out, it didn't look like the first team, like the same team the first 3 weeks of the year. But to keep winning means we got a squad. Means we're well coached, and we got a squad. We got people who are going to make plays when they need to make plays. That win reminded me of 2022 so much, of how we kept winning those games. I don't know if you remember, but every game was like,
for sure,
down to the wire. And
you don't know if I remember, dude. What?
Sorry.
Like this is my first year being a Vikings fan. I don't know. Were you even born yet? Like, do you even remember?
Back like 5 years ago, all these games would have been losses. Since KOC's been our coach, people come back, but they don't come back and win. They come back and make it an absolute cardiac nightmare, but they don't win. They don't beat us. It's been kind of refreshing. Like, I might have a little bit of trust growing in this team, even if they're going to blow it in the second half.
That's a little scary. So did I see a stat? Kevin O'Connell so he is 22-0 as a head coach when the Vikings win or tie the turnover battle.
Isn't that crazy?
I think it's 22-0. I'm almost positive.
I think it was 21-0, and that made it 22-0. That's it. I think that's right.
I'm with you. This team is situationally, even though we're only through 5 weeks, situationally really good.
Yeah.
Like, they just kind of show up when you need them to.
And that's what they did. Is when we had Kirk Cousins as our quarterback in 2022, and we had a quarterback, that's exactly how we were. I'm just throwing out last year, because last year was a quarterback carousel and just a nightmare all the way around. JJ was hurt half the year. And they still contended. That just shows how good KOC is as a coach. But if you look back at the 2022 game in US Bank Stadium against these same Jets, Mike White was the quarterback. Very similar game. We were ahead. Jets came back. They were goal to go situation, and Cam Bynum picked them off to win the game. Kind of same as last week. Aaron Rodgers driving down. KOC always says that we're situational masters, and they've proven it again. Picked off Stephon Gilmore, picked them off at like the 10-yard line, something like that, to seal the game. They were driving. We bend, don't break, baby.
Love to see it. I'm going to ask you, do you think this is this is me. I think it's a perfect week for a bye week, because not only can TJ Hawkinson fully practice and come back healthy, not only can the team get healthy, not that we were too banged up. Aaron Jones was a little bit, so it'd be good to have him back. But for as far as like emotions run on the team, to start 5-0 and then somehow just ironically have a bye week right now, I think that's like best case scenario. Whereas like if you're a team struggling, or if the Vikings were to lose that game going versus the Jets going into that bye week, I think sometimes you want to get back out on the field. Like, you just want to get back and play, and then you have to like stop and think for a whole week. But now I'm like, this is perfect case scenario to have your bye week right now after you're 5-0, so you can come back down to earth a little bit. You just barely won a close game, and you can just kind of get healthy and reassess. I mean, the Vikings didn't think they were going 5-0, so now it's a good little benchmark to reassess where the team's at and get going for the rest of the season.
And especially how our offense looked, I think it'll be good to get back to the drawing board and I don't know, think up some new strategies. I don't know what went wrong in that Jets game. Obviously, they have two of the best corners in the league, kind of blanketed our best receivers, so that was a big part of it. But just at least going to the drawing board and knowing when you don't have Aaron Jones in the game, what can we do differently with Ty Chandler and these different backs to still gain yards on first and second down? Because with Aaron Jones out, we look like a shell of our offense. So, yeah, going back to the drawing board there, that'll be great on this bye week. Getting TJ back healthy will be huge. Hopefully, Aaron Jones isn't going to miss any time. If he has to miss a game or two for him to be healthy down the stretch, that's fine. That's totally fine. If we drop a game because we don't have Aaron Jones, we're still in a really good spot. And then, it'll just be good to kind of just look at where we're at 5-0, happy but not satisfied. And, get these boys ready to keep rolling. Right. On the flip side of that, pessimistic Pat, you want to keep rolling. You're 5-0. So taking a bye week hopefully doesn't mess with any momentum or any juju. But, yeah.
Well, we were going to do optimistic and pessimistic segment, but I literally just said what I'm optimistic about. Usually I hate bye weeks, obviously not watching the Vikings for a week, but honestly, just so happy that they're 5-0. They're going to get healthy, get TJ Hawkinson back, and then they're coming down to earth a little bit from the first 5 weeks. And I think that's really important, especially after barely sneaking out that last game.
Mm-hmm.
The pessimistic side is you just want to keep on rolling. I don't blame you for that.
I got another pessimistic thing later on, so don't worry about it.
What is it? We'll get.
You want to go into it right now?
Yeah, I just gave you my optimistic.
I've been saying it every single time. My pessimistic thing. Can you tell me what my pessimistic thing has been about every week?
Kind of
similar theme. Yeah, Sam Darnold. So my pessimistic thing is just Sam Darnold is really just being propped up because KOC is a good coach. So he's just destined, in my mind, to regress as the season goes on and as teams kind of figure out what our scheme is and what he's doing correctly, what reads he's making. So I'm scared that the Vikings are going to digress so much that it'll be just barely squeaking into the playoffs this year. Obviously, our schedule lightens up a bit. If we can even just go 500 the rest of the way, we're in a great spot. We'd be – I don't even know how many games we have left. We have 12 games. We'd be 11-6.
11-6.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Before the year, if you told me we're going to win 11 games, that'd be amazing.
It's funny. Before the year, if you told me that we would win 5 games this year, I'd call you a crackhead and that you need to get drug tested. Yeah. And now we're 5-0.
Yeah. So if we can even go 500 the rest of the year and be healthy going into the playoffs and having a shot at our, defense travels, what they say wins championships. If we can have a healthy defense, be 500 the rest of the year, I would be more than happy.
That'd be huge. Okay. 3 stars of the game, Pat. We'll start with our third, go to our first. So I struggled a little bit with this game because usually your stars and everyone that headlines the NFL is on the offensive side of the ball. I couldn't give a star to anyone on the offense. So I gave two defense and one special teams.
We probably have the same. We probably have the same.
Number 3 for me was Stephon Gilmore. Is that you too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the reason I can't give him number 1, and he should be, he got burnt all game long by Garrett Wilson. He was shadowing Garrett Wilson. I'm not afraid to admit it. You could go watch the tape. And Garrett Wilson absolutely lit him up, burnt him. But I gotta give him a star because the only reason the Vikings won that game at the same time was kind of because of him. The Jets were driving. Aaron Rodgers was driving. We were in real danger of giving up a touchdown, not having much time to go down, kick a field goal to win. So I will say Stephon Gilmore pretty much lost us the game on defense, and then it's weird. And then he won us the game with that pick. Without that pick, dude, I have absolutely no doubt, despite how good our defense has been, that they go down, score a touchdown, win.
Yeah. No, Stephon Gilmore is my number 3 star as well, just because it was such a clutch interception. I'm not saying he played good the whole game. I didn't look at his stats, how many tackles he had, blah, blah. Don't care. Huge pick for him. It wasn't an easy pick. He was falling backwards. At first, I didn't even know if he picked it off watching it in real time. Had to see the replay to confirm it. But, yeah, huge pick. 34-year-old man out there running with spry 24-year-old Garrett Wilson. Yeah.
I don't know if he's run with them, but
trying.
Dude, he was burnt toast that whole game.
Hey, we talked about my pick of the offensive player of the year for Garrett Wilson. He looked like it in that game.
Yeah,
like
he
13
did.
catches or something. But
so
I'll get into my second star. My second star, he was one of my stars last week, Will the Drill Reichert.
Me too. Dude, I think we have the exact same. Okay.
I think we have the exact same too.
Yeah.
He can't miss. It's really fun to watch, really fun to be confident in the kicker. Hopefully, I'm just going to knock on wood that he keeps up that success. And every kicker is going to miss. So if he misses a kick or two, I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon. But as long as his head doesn't go with it.
Were you old enough to remember Gary Anderson as the kicker?
I was like 5.
So we never got to see Gary Anderson. Our whole life as Vikings fans, we've never been able to trust a Vikings kicker.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember being at my Uncle Phil's house, your Uncle Phil's house, watching that 97 or 98
versus the Falcons.
Yeah, when he pulled that kick. I mean, just remember people being pissed. I didn't really care at the time, but
right.
Yeah. Anyway, Will Reichert and KOC gave him a game ball. Wherever he's like, wherever I make this guy kick the ball from, he puts it in. It's huge to have an automatic 3 points like that. He's been absolutely automatic.
It is. So, with the way our offense was struggling at post Aaron Jones injury, to have Will Reichert saved us the game. That was huge. And I mean, let's just say it in unison. Our first star of the game, 3, 2, 1. Andrew Van Ginkel. Unbelievable pick 6. Let me find this. Sorry, if you want to rant, you can, because I gotta find this stat.
Yeah, you get it.
Ginkel.
Yeah, I just think that Andrew Van Ginkel, that play that he made, absolutely, where all our offense couldn't score, having a defensive score in that game absolutely won us the game. Especially when we only won by 6 points, a 7-point swing. Jets were on the move. It was like a 70-yard touchdown return. They were in our territory. We had some terrible plays on special teams. That Ivan Pace penalty, that play made up for a lot of mistakes in the game from us.
Right.
That one Andrew Van Ginkel play. So he gets my first star. Without that, I don't know. I don't know if the Vikings win. So,
all right, Andrew Van Ginkel this season has more touchdowns than Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, and Josh Jacobs.
That's unbelievable. I've seen that as well. It's crazy.
As a linebacker.
Yeah, there was something about him having a lot of like combined too, not just those, but like a lot of those guys combined, which is just crazy.
Yeah. Okay, and then the second crazy thing about Van Ginkel so far this year, he has a 90.8 coverage grade from PFF. Don't really know what that means, but second amongst all defenders in the NFL.
Any defenders? Not just linebackers?
All defenders.
That's crazy.
Which is just nuts. It's a 90.8.
You got to listen to his interviews too. He's just a little nerd. I mean, not little.
He's a hooligan.
He's just a goofy guy who is just really good at football. Smart.
How about can I have a 4th star to give to Brian O'Neill? One of the best games of his career. He allowed only 1 pressure and has only allowed 6 pressures all season. He has a 90.9 PFF overall grade. He has a 95.1 run block grade and an 80.5 pass block grade.
Damn, hell yeah.
He's just balling out, and obviously we don't know it, or we don't notice it because he's a lineman.
I will also give a 4th star, and I'm going to give it to the refs. That crew, I was really scared because that crew actually calls the least amount of defensive penalties in the league, and I heard that in like a I don't know, before the game on KFN or whatever, KFan, that those refs don't call any penalties. And they called a ton of defensive penalties, holding Justin Jefferson. I'm happy that they were calling those ticky-tack fouls because they would have held the shit out of him the whole game if they did not call those.
What was the penalty that should have been pass interference on the Vikings towards the end of the game that they didn't throw a flag on? That was huge.
Whatever, dude, go refs.
I can't even remember it. But that was just insane. Yeah, thanks, refs. Okay. We dare optimistic, pessimistic. We dare 3 stars of the game. Kind of 4 stars. We're 5-0. Let's get into our random Viking of the week. You got yours, Pat?
Hey, Let's call this segment something else, because actually there's another podcast that kind of says the random Viking of the week. That's what they call a similar segment. They don't do it the same as we do, but
I don't want this channel taken down. I already
we're gonna call this "Who's That Viking?" That's what we're gonna call it. Who is that Viking? Because I was listening to a thing and that's what they said. Random Viking of the week. I'm like, oh shoot, that's kind of what we said.
Who's that Viking with Max and patty cakes?
Oh, wait, and hold on. I got to get the sound queued up. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but I'm sure our fans do. Who's that Viking?
Who's that Pokemon?
Okay.
I played first. Pokemon Go. I collected cards.
Okay. I'm going to go first. This one's going to be kind of a stumper. Maybe.
Okay.
This Viking wore number 16 as a Minnesota Viking. I know you got it on as your first guess last time, was just the number that I gave. So, do you have a guess already?
I have two guesses because I can't remember, but one of our quarterbacks last year, Josh Dobbs or Jaron Hall, wore number 16.
Okay. Good guesses. It is not correct, but good guess. I think Josh Hall wore 16. I think you're right.
I can't remember, what number did Sidney Rice wear?
81. No. 19?
Was he in the
11? What did
something? I can't. So it's not Sidney Rice then.
No. Obviously. Who is that Pokemon? I want to see what Sidney Rice wore. I think it was Sidney. Vashenko wore 81. 18. JJ's 18. Number. I didn't even think about that.
Okay, can I have one more hint?
Oh yeah, you got lots of hints here. He was our quarterback in 2000. He started in 2013 over Teddy Bridgewater. This was Teddy Bridgewater's rookie year.
It was post Christian Ponder. Oh my gosh, he started quarterback over Teddy B. Was it post?
Yeah, I think he was the guy after Ponder, and it was supposed to be just kind of whatever I'm trying to say. What's it called? Just a guy. What am I looking for? It's like a transition guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is for that.
Well, shoot, dude. I am stumped here. Who is it?
Quarterback. No, we're not done yet. He used to play for the Patriots. He stepped in well for Tom Brady when Tom Brady got hurt.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Matt Castle.
That's a good guess.
Dang, that took me too many times.
No, that's fine.
But then that one got me. Yeah, Matt Castle. I vividly remember he had to have only played a couple games though, because Teddy went in
a handful of games, maybe end of 1 year, and then he signed a 2-year deal, played a handful of games, and got hurt.
Okay, so unlike Matt Castle, this guy was a Pro Bowler in multiple seasons.
Whoa!
This guy wore number. Actually, I'll give you this. He was a wide receiver.
Percy Harvin.
Nope.
He was a Pro Bowler. Okay. Pro Bowler, receiver. God, we've had so many good receivers in my lifetime. How can I ask, like, what era in the last 20 years?
Sure. Yeah. Yep. Actually, last 10 years.
Last 10 years. Was he actually a Pro Bowler when he was on the Vikings?
He was a Pro Bowler for something other than wide receiver. I might give it away. Wow. But he was mainly a wide receiver.
Oh, I know who it is. Cordell Patterson, baby.
Yes, sir. Number 84 has the longest kickoff return in NFL history against the Packers.
I was at that game. Fun fact.
Were you?
In the Metrodome.
That's so cute.
It was
it was electric. In the Metrodome. He's a Pro Bowl returner, I believe, 2 or 3 years with the Vikings. I got to meet Cordero Patterson when I was a kid, which was
nice.
Pretty cool.
He's still playing, which is crazy.
Yeah, I wonder, actually, how many teams has Cordero Patterson played for?
He has played for, I can name him.
So many.
I can name him. He's played for the Vikings, the Bears, the Falcons, Steelers now. Seahawks. Did he play for the Seahawks? Did he play for New England too? Yeah, you look it up.
New England.
Been a lot.
It's been, the last however many years.
I mean, quarterbacks jump around like that, but receivers normally not.
Oh, no, not the Seahawks. I was thinking of the Seahawks. Okay, he's played for the Vikings, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Bears, the Falcons, and the Steelers.
Crazy.
Man.
He never, if he would have just ran routes like a normal person, he would have been
like a normal person. Yeah.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, though, I mean, also good for him. I think he's almost as good of a running back as a receiver. He's a stud running back.
If any fans want to just have some OG clips, look at the Vikings versus the Ravens. Last 2 minutes of that game, Vikings-Ravens, it was in the snow probably 10 years ago, something like that. It is the craziest last 5 minutes of football you'll ever see in Cordell Patterson. It was a big part of that game. That was super, super fun.
There you go. Digging deep into our Vikings knowledge. Well, Pat, we will still do this podcast. Maybe we won't do this podcast next week.
I think we should. We'll be here next week, boys and girls.
We'll have content to talk about.
Yeah, we'll have content. We'll figure it out.
Or else we'll just spew. Like we do best. We'll just spew. Okay, episode number 4 of the Viktory. Glad I have a mic. Hopefully I sound okay. I guess I'll listen to it.
You sound good. Yeah, you sound good.
And going into the bye week, feeling really, really good. Glad we kept this podcast episode short. It will be posted today. Tomorrow, though, however, check out our other segment it's supposed to be Wager Wednesday, but we had to shoot a little bit later. I had to order a microphone, which took a while for it to get here. So check out Wager Wednesday, except it'll be on a Thursday.
Make those bets, baby.
On that segment, you will get our power rankings. You will get our picks. You will get a game we play Weddle. You will get our quarterback interception survival. You'll just get it all. It's a good fun segment. Anyways, this is our favorite segment because the Vikings are 5-0. If the Vikings were 0-5, it'd probably be a painful segment, but thankfully we're doing
still lots to talk about. Even if they were 0-5, we'd have a lot to talk about.
That is true. We got content.
We got Robert Saleh fired, by the way. Can we talk about that real quick?
Oh, that is
crazy.
Okay, so Robert Saleh's first game as a head coach, he lost against Sam Darnold versus the Panthers a couple years ago. And his last game as a head coach, he lost to Sam Darnold.
Full circle. Sammy D owns that, man.
He's the common denominator, really.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's weird. And then you had him for a quarterback for a while.
I know.
No. Sam Darnold. Oh, no, you're right. He was
way before.
He? Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for joining in, guys.
Subscribe, like. If you're still with us this long, at this point, you just gotta subscribe, just to show how pathetic of a human being you are.
Oh yeah, degenerate Vikings fan.
We're fun. Okay. Adios. Episode 4. Victor.
Okay.
We're out.